So, thank you so much. We may now start the program. We would like a volunteer to lead us in Muslim and Christian prayer so that we employ the presence of God in our midst before we start the program. Can we have a volunteer who can lead us Christian? Okay, John.
Let's stand up and respect God. In Jesus' name. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for your mercies that endures in our midst. Thank you for this day. You said you create and we shall rejoice in it. Thank you for such a wonderful moment. Unto you we come with this program. We pray that your presence comes in, come against every plan and plot of the enemy. We sanctify this place with your blood, with your power. Whatever discussion we discuss here today will be of essence and will continue to yield that impact in the fight against rabies in our country. Thank you. Take all the glory in Jesus' name.
Amen. Muslim? Any Imam, Sheikh? Any? Yes.
الفاتحة 1 أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much, my brother, for our brothers for leading us in Christian and Muslim prayer. Okay, thank you so much. We now move to the next item of the agenda, which is the welcome address by the representation of the Permanent Secretary.
Good morning, all. On behalf of the Honorable Minister, Deputy Ministers, Permanent Secretary and top management of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, I want to heartily welcome you all to this auspicious occasion. One thing I always like to emphasize is that health always comes first. So anything that has to do with health, we must take it very seriously and ensure that whatever that we need to do to make sure that the program succeeds, we must do. So today, it is a pleasure to receive you all to celebrate the World Rabies Day. Pretty soon, we will get data, information on what rabies is and what has been done to prevent it, what are the steps taken to make sure that our community and people are safe. So again, I welcome you to this wonderful celebration, and I believe we will all learn and get a fruitful time here this morning. Thank you very much for coming, and wish you a pleasant day.
Thank you so much, our ministry representative from the top management. We now call on the person who will be chairing this program. He's not as a person, but the representation of our Director General, General Razin. She will be the one chairing this World Rabies Day 2023 commemoration. So I now hand over the mic to General to take the head of the ship, which will lead us to the Rabies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leone. I joined the top management to welcome you all to this global celebration, and we are happy for Sierra Leone to be part of this celebration. As Mr. Leone said, I am representing the Chief Agriculture Officer of the Ministry, and I want to assure you that I will hold this chair according to your wishes, and we will all land safely. So, as chairman also, I see the chairman's opening remarks. In the remarks now, we are celebrating World Rabies Day. We know it's a virus. It's a virus that affects animals and humans. Then we also know that over 98% of human infection is caused by dog bites. We all know that rabies is caused by dog bites. Then we also know that its effect takes place in the host when the virus travels by the central nervous system to the brain. Then it also replicates when it reaches the brain. Then rabies, 100% can be prevalent through vaccination of the dogs. But once the signs and symptoms are manifested, it cannot be cured. And in our local language, what do we know? Well body, na gently. So it means one health. We should be concerned about the health of the animal and that of the health of the human. Because otherwise, one will efface. If the human don't efface, the animal will efface. And we need to cohabit in this world. Then we also know that rabies is also a zoonotic disease, meaning its transmission from animals to human. All mammals, that is animals that breastfeed their youngs, get rabies, except chicken, snakes, reptiles, fish. But we do not have to blame the dogs, because dogs on their own too contract the virus through wild. So in order for us, they are not born with the virus. So in order for us not to blame them, we need to find a cure. And prevention. So the global effect, over 59,000 to 60,000 people are infected globally, especially among children aged 0 to 15 years. The above deaths occur mostly in Africa and Asia. And as Sierra Leone, we find ourselves in the West African part. So it's a concern for us, it's a concern for our country, it's a concern for the ministry, it's a concern for the nation. So if we are here today celebrating this day, we need to take the necessary caution, the necessary preventive measure in order to curtail the death rate as mentioned globally in the global effect for rabies. So on that note, I wish we all a fruitful stay here and hope the statement here will be very meaningful to us. I thank you for your attention, and on the next agenda we have introduction of I-table and other key dignitaries by the WRD 2023 committee, Mr. S. Bar. Over to you, Mr. S. Bar. Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I have a very simple task here today, but it's very complicated because introducing the most important people you can say good is task that is not an easy task. But I will try to do my best. I will start from the far end here, from my right end, coming this way. On my far right, we have Mohammed A. Kamara, representing Environment Protection Agency, and he is the manager in charge of chemical control and management. Next to him is Usman Justin Conte, representing the Sierra Leone Red Cross. He is the project manager for the CP3 project, as one of our partners who supported this year's War Rabies activity. Next to him is a veteran, a vet, a household name also, and for his introduction, I'm just doing it because it's a task, but I hope as far as this gathering is concerned, Rabies is a household name. It's no less a person but Alhaji Dr. Abdul Jallo is representing the National Rabies Control Task Force, and also is the director, the executive director of SLAUS, Sierra Leone Welfare Society. Next to him is one of our great supporters. They've been with us under rain, under sun, and they are always with us. This is Mr. James S. Fofana, the Chief of Party Breakthrough Action. Next to him is the center pillar of what we are here doing, the One Health platform, the environment, animal, human health, and is the dynamic, effective, efficient national technical coordinator, Mr. Joseph Bonding Grebe. Of course, next to him is also one of our biggest supporters, and if we are here today, they made it possible, and is here representing the hectare team, is the hectare team lead of the Food and Agricultural Organization. He is Dr. Benson. Next to him is the representative of the permanent Secretary and representative of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. So it's one stone thrown into that. He's here representing the PS, the Senior Permanent Secretary, and the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. Fits alone. So it's no less a person that can be. Next to him is, of course, our Honorable Chair, Madam Chair. You've heard her. The brilliant introduction she just gave, and I believe all of us can treat really seriously from what we heard from her. Is Madam Geneva, representing the Chief Agriculture Officer, the Minister of Agriculture. Next to him is our just outgoing dynamic Director of the Livestock and Veterinary Services Division of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Is no less a person but Mr. Mohamed Al-Fatah. Then next, we have a representative of the World Health Organization, Emergency Response Officer, is Victor Kuta. And we are here. We cannot be here if the country is not stable. We cannot be here if the country is not peaceful. So we are here in our midst with representatives from the Office of National Security, ONS. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much for the role you have played. I think we are now comfortable. We have known now the high level of profile people seated here for this occasion, for this auspicious occasion today in celebrating the World Rabies Day. So from the introduction, we hear the preventive messages. Next on the agenda is the statement from the One Health Technical Coordinator. That's Mr. Joseph Bunting Grady. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Chairman and Royal Representative of the Honorable Minister, and all protocols observed. I am happy to join this galaxy of representatives of institutions across the One Health sectors to commemorate this World Rabies Day. This is a day that is recognized across the world, and Sierra Leone is joining all other countries that consider rabies as a threat. We are not just gathered here just in the name of gathering. This gathering yearly sends a message. And so, our numbers in our gathering is not the message. The message that we'll be sending today in our country and the world over will be taken from each one of us represented here, emphasizing specifically their areas of interest, but communicating the same threat that we have in our country. Rabies, from the One Health perspective, we have prioritized it as one of our zoonotic diseases of interest, and a major one. Major in the sense, today as I speak, we have not fully assessed the burden of rabies in Sierra Leone, which is a big challenge to any country, because for the security people, you know, if you cannot assess the threat properly, then you cannot prepare to counter that threat. So even at baseline, we're still grappling with data to actually understand how serious the threat is in our country. But of course, science has informed that when you are bitten by a rabid dog, your chances of surviving is slim. Nonetheless, even with that gap as a country, the mechanisms that are in place using the One Health platform are doing the best to raise awareness through the support of our partners who are here with us, at least for the populace to understand that this threat is in the country. And for those who are acquainted with public health dynamics, you can only respond to any threat when you know what the threat is and where the threat is, and with other elements for you to actually put your resources together. But we are still struggling with that. As a platform, I joined shoulder to shoulder with all colleagues here from the different line ministries and our partners to press home to our authorities that the threat of rabies is serious in our country. And now that we find ourselves in this platform, we'll continue to hype it, and we continue to call the attention of our authorities at the highest political level to understand that our communities are at risk of rabies. Wednesday after Wednesday, at the Emergency Preparedness and Response meeting, the APRG meeting at the EOC in Cochrane, we severally receiving information about dog bites and receiving information about rabid cases in the country. So to tell you that we have cases of rabies in our country. Thank God for our partners like the FAO, at least as a country. We can now identify or diagnose and bring out a confirmatory result to tell you that yes, at this stage, we can now say this is, a rabid infection or it is not. Before now, it was not. Thank God for the effort of our partners who have been supporting for this effort. Before now, we never had such diagnostic facility, but thank God for FAO for supporting the government of Sierra Leone. We continue to call for more so that much more could be done. And first of all, identifying cases and pulling those who are at risk, protecting communities, and doing all that we can. Breakthrough action, supporting the actions of communication to their communities, even to our local populace, to understand the disease at their level. Because we must transcend this position of communicating just in one language, but in multi-languages that are in country, so that our community people who are at risk most will understand the threats. You all know, and many of us who are here might have dogs in our homes. But if we should ask, how many of us who have dogs and have taken the responsibility to vaccinate those dogs, or had the opportunity through the campaigns when some of the communities, or few communities, were targeted at a particular point in time to vaccinate dogs just to protect, the community. But of course, the science provides that effort is not sufficient to actually prevent, the populace from rabies infection. We need to do more. We know it's capital intensive, but nonetheless, the cost of a life is much more important than the resources it takes to prevent our population. Let me conclude by saying that this year-to-year activity is not our goal. This is just a commemoration of the World Rabies Day. all the days that lies ahead from now gives us the opportunity to do more as a country and as a government, to actually understand what the professionals are saying. But the responsibilities also rest with the professionals to package this information in a friendly way, executive-friendly way, so that our political, leaders will understand the threat that we face. So once more, I want to thank the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, who are taking lead in this fight, and all the other stakeholders and our partners who have been joining in supporting them with the resources, at least to demonstrate that even with the little resources that we have, we can still vaccinate dogs. And that means if we have more, we can do more. And so we call all the partners who can support. You might not have mandate with regards to supporting or providing resources in this regard, but life, protecting life is very, very important. So your resources are needed to support efforts to have as many vaccines that we need in country to actually reach a threshold for prevention of the society. That said, I want to thank you for joining us in commemorating this day. But before I conclude, my family has not been a victim of rabies, but there are those whose family might have been a victim of rabies. And from the clip that was shown last year's celebration, it is horrifying to see how somebody who is beaten by a rabid dog dies. I'm not sure any one of us want to identify with that. That said, if there is anyone in this country whose family member has suffered such, who might have the opportunity to even, see us commemorating this day, we want to join them and sympathize, for their loss at any point in time if they have suffered, this dangerous, harm. So I want us to observe a moment of silence for any citizen of our country whom at any point in time might have been beaten by a rabid dog and could not survive because we hadn't the vaccines, or the response was late, or he or she was not even aware that the dog was a rabid dog. Let's observe a moment of silence. May God have mercy upon us, and may God help us. God bless you.
Thank you very much. That's the statement from One Health Technical Coordinator, and from the statement we can understand how we should treat this disease very serious, because there is no data for our country for now, but the prevalence there, Africa is mentioned when we look at the global effect. So also I will join him that we need to get mechanisms from the government and our partners in order to develop the data for this disease. So we will be able to know our responses and preparedness. Thank you very much, Mr. Coordinator. Next on the agenda, statement from Breakthrough Action. Before that statement, let me go back. Do we have the CMO here? Dr. No. Okay, let's go ahead. So we have the statement now from Breakthrough Action. That's the chief of party.
Okay, Madam Chair, the High Table, all due protocols observed. Good morning, all. I like the way you emphasize chief of party. When people call that name, don't mind, it's a title. I'm often in the position to explain to people it's a title. It's like a country, not a political party, it's like a country. Okay. Yes, I mean, the stories around rabies and the fight to eliminate rabies in Sierra Leone, those stories will not end now. And the reason being is rabies is a serious matter in this country. And if we don't have the data, we don't have the evidence, to show how serious this issue is in the country, to me that's the number one challenge. Because for you to tackle a problem, as a programmer, we are often told and we are taught in our various platforms that you have to understand the issue and you have to understand the severity of the issue and how that issue affects the society where you live in, in such ways that will enable you to come up with practical solutions, to tackle the problem. Having said that, I don't know, we have done a lot as a nation and as partners and as a government, to tackle rabies. And I was talking to one of my colleagues this morning, in retrospect, basically talking about the efforts and fight that has been directed towards eliminating rabies in Sierra Leone. And there's a lot already been done. But the challenge is big. And the challenge cannot be handled by one institution, by one entity, by one partner. It requires collaboration. It requires us all to come together. And reflecting back on the validation of the One Health Governance Manual, 3 terms came up that are really very strong. And those terms are very important in coordinating any fight that has to do with ending a public health threat. Communication, collaboration, and coordination. It's important as fighters, who call us fighters to eliminate rabies, for us to communicate well and with the right audience, to coordinate our efforts in ways that are effective and deliver results, and to collaborate in what we do. Because we do have various strengths in what we do. In breakthrough action, for instance, our strength is in risk communication and social and behavior change. And for this reason, when breakthrough action came to Sierra Leone with funding from USAID, our efforts have been directed towards our areas of strength. And we've done a lot in terms of working with One Health Risk Communication and Community Engagement Technical Working Group, which comprise a lot of partners and MDs in that group. To design a campaign, to implement a campaign, to assess and evaluate the efforts of that campaign, to advocate, and you name it, in the fight against rabies. As I speak, 3 circles of rabies campaign have been implemented by that technical working group under the One Health umbrella. And I think they will do a presentation to this body to just see the efforts that they have directed raising awareness and making sure, the public in general, Sierra Leone knows about rabies, understands dog bites and the implication it could have on the health of the Sierra Leonean population. So, those updates will share with all of you, and you'll see the level of effort that has been directed towards that. But I would say, in all of those efforts, and this is my experience in really directing my efforts and the efforts of our organization and the technical working group for risk communication towards the awareness raising. If you build the knowledge, you improve attitudes and behaviors. But when it comes to accessing, the human rabies vaccine in particular, there is a challenge. It's like you meet somebody and say, if you're bitten by a dog, you can go to clinic A and you can access a they call it a PEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis vaccine or post-exposure one. And the person goes to that place and there is either no vaccine or it's slightly expensive or it ends up being expired. We've seen cases, I think 1 or 2 cases, I don't know if it was last year, where a 7-year-old girl was bitten by a dog and then they did all the right steps, went to access the vaccine, but eventually died because the vaccine was expired. So these are the practical issues that we face as a nation, in the fight against rabies. So it requires us all to use all of our, strengths in the areas where we think we're strong. If you are a partner that is there to import both animal or human rabies vaccines, that's your part. You do your part in the fight against rabies. If you're into communication, you contribute to awareness raising. If you're into advocacy for more of the commodities that are required to fight rabies, you do that. So we all need to combine our efforts, to fight this battle. And this battle, our focus is all on perhaps looking at domestic animals, dogs. We've not even looked at the wildlife. The severity of rabies in wildlife. We don't know, but the experts are on the table. Maybe they will talk about it. FAO is here, we have Dr. Gudush here, all they are the experts. So we have a problem. Basically, that's what I would say. We have a problem. And that problem cannot be fought by one person, one institution, one government. It's a collective effort. And that's why I like the theme of this year's celebration. All for one health for all. We all have to come together. We have to be on board this fight as one in order to be able to make the result that are significant enough to eliminate rabies. Having said that, I just want to thank you all for patience and time. And let's continue to look forward to the presentations, the technical presentations that were presented, and we'll all learn from that and go back to our offices, our organizations, and our MDs to reflect on all of these and do what you can in your own little corner to contribute towards the fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The chief of party has spoken, and he spoke really as the chief of party because the other partners who have to be in this party has been raised awareness about them. So it's like what we are expecting, a combined effort. He mentioned coordination, collaboration, communication, the right audience, then the campaign. Having done all those, then the vaccine. if it is available in the clinic, it is costly, and it will be there and expire, while maybe people will be dying. So all the parties connected need to do their needful in order for us to prevent this disease. So thank you, Mr. Party. The name Party, Chief of Party, you display it. So at the end of the day, he also said when we go back to our offices, we should reflect. And that reflection will give us the synergy to move ahead. Next on the program is the statement from the WHO Country Representative.
Madam Chair, colleagues on the high table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good morning. From our rep, Dr. Innocent Bright, who is also attending a very important meeting this morning, that is launching of the personnel development plan at EOC. However, WHO acknowledged the government's efforts and the support given by the essential partners in improving the understanding and benefits, including opportunities for a One Health approach in fighting rabies. Rabies, we all know, is a vaccine preventable disease. It causes tens of thousands of deaths every year, mainly in Asia and Africa. And as rightly said by the chairperson, 40% of those deaths are children under 5 years of age, under 15 years of age. Dogs are the main source of human rabies, death contributing to about 99% of all rabies transmissions to humans. Rabies can be prevented through vaccination of dogs and prevention of dog bites. Globally, rabies causes an estimated cost of $8.6 billion per year. So that's a huge burden. Therefore, a One Health approach assures the engagement of multiple sectors and local communities to build awareness and conduct mass dog vaccination campaigns. There are efforts currently directed at the elimination of rabies, human rabies to be specific, by the year 2030. In Sierra Leone, a case of rabies was confirmed in this country. Since then, clinical cases have been reported in health facilities, and because of that, WHO supported the Ministry of Health in one of our stakeholders' engagements. That is when we are looking at adapting the 3rd edition IDSA technical guideline to at least capture dog bites as a proxy for rabies. I am happy the technical coordinator said data is very, very important. And I believe those presentations made weekly has created some concern among stakeholders that something has to be done for the prevention of rabies. Sierra Leone, like many other countries in Africa and Asia, are challenged with policy on dog ownership and limited access to vaccines. However, as we commemorate today with the theme rabies, all for one health for all, we must employ a multidisciplinary approach to implement proven interventions and the implementation of stakeholders involved 2 years ago. Celebrating this day is important, But there are things we should do so that at least we can reduce the burden of rabies in this country. In that particular meeting, it was a big meeting. We agreed that bylaws at community level must be strengthened and implemented, especially in controlling stray dogs. Stray dog management must be strengthened. The lab in Makeni, the animal lab, should be strengthened. Communication, social and behavioral change should also be strengthened. And we should decentralize One Health in all districts. Build the capacity of both human and animal workforce. Strengthen reporting and surveillance. Provision of vaccines for both human and animals. Lastly, research. In providing vaccines for humans, for the past 2 weeks, the NTD wing of the Ministry of Health and WHO have had series of online engagements with our Afro counterparts, that's our headquarters in Brazzaville, to see how they can facilitate the process of making sure that we have human vaccines in this country. So I'm glad to say that that's something ongoing. We hope very soon we can achieve that so that at least we'll have a reliable source of getting the vaccine when somebody is bitten. It will interest you to note that somebody from my district was bitten by a dog. That individual paid transport and came to Freetown. He was directed at the medical stores. He went there for the vaccine. He paid his money. The vaccine was given to him, not knowing that somebody at the corner there was using vaccines that are fake. At the end of the day, the individual died. So that is a signal that we should take rabies prevention very, very important. Because you can't imagine somebody coming from hundreds of miles away to seek help, good services, and at the end of the day, the wrong service was administered to that particular patient. May his soul rest in perfect peace. I want to join my colleague to urge all of us as partners. Let us make sure that we implement the recommendations that were agreed on some time ago. I believe if we do that, then definitely the future will be bright for this country. I thank you.
World Health Organization, and we are talking here about our health, be it animal or human. And right from the program, the theme, he made mention about the theme for this year, World Health for All, and also admonish the parties, their commitment to the prevention. And also, I think there should be a monitoring mechanism, because how can someone go to the clinic where he or she is expected to get the right treatment and somebody behind there is doing otherwise? And at the end, life, which is so precious, was lost. So I think we need to do, also you mentioned the multidisciplinary approach for the prevention, the vaccine, and also the awareness, raising the awareness. And I think WHO very concerned about health, so it's like we need to see the same thing goes, reflection. We need to reflect how we can come up with programs and projects that can speak to all these things we are discussing here today pertaining to the cure, prevention, and awareness messages. Thank you very much, the representative from WHO. And now I will call on the country representative for FAO to make his or her statement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I would like, first and foremost, to convey the FAO representative apologies for not being able to participate in person in this very important meeting. This is due to a very important mission from our regional coordinator for West Africa, which is in the country, very high-level consultations, and at the moment, he is really having very important meetings with the European Union and with the World Bank. So he has requested me to present his speech, and I'm going ready to do so. I will read his speech, and I will say this. Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, or his representative of the Minister of Health and Sanitation, representative of the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Tameto country representative, representative of the United States Agency for International Development, Global Health Security Advisor, Mrs. Dino Spenters Walters, the worship, the Mayor of Freetown City, National One Health Platform, ministries, departments, and agencies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, it gives me great pleasure to be here today to mark the 18th World Rabies Day. This year's theme, All for One Health for All, highlights that one health is not for a selected few, but for everyone. This theme further emphasizes the importance of equality and strengthening overall health system by ensuring that one health is something that should be available to everyone. By collaborating and joining forces across sectors, engaging communities, and committing to sustain dog vaccination together as one, we can work towards one goal, to eliminate one disease and to make one health available to all, using rabies as the example. With the Zero by 30 global strategic plan for the elimination of dog-mediated human rabies death by 2030, we have a shared global goal, and the world has the vaccine, the world has the medicines, the world has the tools
we can eliminate rabies, leaving no one behind. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2015, the tripartite, which comprises the World Health Organization, the World Organization for Animal Health, and FAO, developed the global strategic plan for the elimination of dog-mediated human rabies deaths by 2030, which aims at achieving zero human deaths linked to canine rabies by 2030. At country level, we do have a national strategy for the eradication of rabies and enhancement of dog population in Sierra Leone for the period 2015 to 2030. We also do have as well a rabies national action plan. These are key documents guiding interventions leading at ensuring that canine rabies is eliminated in the country by 2030. FAO has been actively involved in ensuring that Sierra Leone puts in place relevant strategies and mechanisms for the national control of rabies, and with the support from the USAID under the Global Health Security Agenda and now under the Global Health Security Program. FAO equipped and refurbished a state-of-the-art biosafety Level 2 Central Veterinary Laboratory at Teku, Makini, for testing and confirmation of suspected rabies cases in the country, among other infectious diseases. Through this capacity, CVL has confirmed 28 dog rabies cases from 2020 to 2023, and these from various districts in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, as we heard from WHO, rabies is 100% preventable virus disease, and it is important to note that dogs are the main source of human rabies cases, contributing to 99% of all rabies transmission to humans. According still to WHO, 40% of the people beaten by suspected rabies dog are children under 15 years of age. Given this, I think the time has come for the government of Sierra Leone and also for partners to facilitate the availability of dog and human rabies vaccines in the country to ensure sustained mass vaccination of at least over 70% vaccination coverage of dogs and cats, and to protect humans after exposure to the rabies virus and those at risk. I must say that FAO has continuously the government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security with dog and human rabies vaccines to commemorate World Rabies Day celebrations. And for this year, I'm happy to report that FAO has provided 3,000 doses of dog rabies vaccines and 150 doses of human rabies vaccines to protect people, frontline animal health workers, and laboratory personnel at the CVL who are mostly at risk due to their occupation. And I can also confirm that yesterday, very late in the evening, we have acquired additional doses of human canine vaccines for the country with syringes, equipment, and so on and so on. I think this morning has been already handed over to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Further, FAO, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, supported mass vaccination of dogs and cats against rabies as part of support toward implementation of the national strategy for the elimination of rabies and enhancement of dog population management in Sierra Leone. These activities were conducted in 2022 countrywide in all the 15 districts. During the exercise, over 4,078 dogs and cats were vaccinated against rabies. We also plan to support mass dog vaccination this year as part of our contribution toward the implementation of the national rabies elimination strategy. We should all keep in mind that rabies is a major barrier to realization of sustainable development goal, and particularly the SDG 3, and also the FAO for veterans that we know all very well, namely better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. These SDGs and 4 betters aim at ensuring healthy life and promoting well-being of all ages. Therefore, we need to act now to eliminate rabies by the year 2030. Madam Chair, as I conclude, I wish to emphasize that close intersectoral collaboration, it has already been said by Dr. Grady, is vital to eliminate rabies and also to address other shared health threats at the human-animal ecosystem interface. As FAO, we look forward to continuing working closely with the government of Sierra Leone, the partners, to support and sustain rabies elimination activities in the country. Only together we can ensure a safer and healthier future for the people of Sierra Leone and the world. I would like at this juncture to take the opportunity to thank the government of Sierra Leone for its strong partnership and collaboration. I would like also really to take this opportunity to thank the United States government for their funding they have extended to FAO under the Global Health Security Program to support the country to prevent, detect, and respond to public health threats and priority zoonotic diseases. Finally, I want to thank all of you for coming together as we embark on the journey to make Sierra Leone rabies free. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Representative, Council Representative for FAO. FAO is the Food and Agriculture Organization, global, and we acknowledge your support to the ministry. You highlighted so many things, including the Sustainable Development Goal, which we are all working towards. Then you also mentioned about together we can eliminate rabies, leaving no one behind. But at county level, you said there is no national strategy or action plan. So we seated here from the other organization, the ministry, we need to take notes. So in this year's celebration, so much is coming out that we need to take note in order to strategize and plan, put an action on course. Thank you very much once again. From the USAID. Country, okay, we go to the next. The representative from NLAWIC, Progress